started small and then it grew to something big. I closed myself up to the world. Symptoms of a guy who's had his heart broken before. Self-medicated.
I'm happy to try to compromise,
Right.
meet you halfway, and you give a little bit of what you feel, and then we can give input and kind of creatively like address it. But the direction is going in right now. I'm not feeling that. That was awful.
So you feeling the same way?
I'm sorry. D.
Yeah, I think we go good.
Yeah, I don't know if I necessarily hear like this. To me is not like a club song.
Okay.
Personally, I feel like the lyric and the like the theme of the song overall speaks more to like the vulnerability of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that kind of gets lost if it's going like when you were talking about driving it, I didn't know exactly which way you were talking about, so I just was trying to give you the space to kind of do that.
This is where all of the magic happens, you know. This is the behind the scenes part of it where, you know, you got a songwriter or a group of songwriters and some producers, some instrumentalists come in and they kind of just like mesh and create.
But yeah, I just feel like it loses the vulnerability, and that was kind of the intention with the record.
Okay.
At least for me, that was the kind of intention I was hoping to convey.
That's cool. I mean, when I grew up in the era of Boys and Men, that's what I did, that's what I sang, everything was like that. I'm just really, song's nice. It's nice, pretty. You know what I'm saying? Pretty gets you tours, pretty gets you, you know what I'm saying? That's definitely gives you longevity. Pretty ain't gonna make you money. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm not saying your point is invalid.
Right.
I just, personally, I feel like when you do something that feels authentic, you win.
So we in there trying to get this record done, you know, and every session has its, you know, ups and downs and shared roadblocks, but sometimes like you start wondering to yourself like, are we speaking the same language or what? Frustrating would be I think an accurate word.
I personally, my intention is not to be combative. I don't, and if it comes off as combative, I don't mean to be combative. I just feel like it would be imprudent for us to spend time on something that's not necessarily going to be beneficial for us than to unwise. That's what it means.
Hell is imprudent.
It means unwise.
Unwise?
I knew what you was talking about, young man. You just keep on going.
I'm trying to use context, so all I know is Prudential Bank, and I'm like, that's not close enough.
To
You'll go far in this business show.
To spend time on something that's not going to serve the intention.
We spent a pretty decent amount of time trying to, you know, get this record to come together, and at the end of it, it's not necessarily what I wanted it to, I should say what I initially heard or intended for the record to be. You know, we'll probably sit down and kind of talk about how we can get it a little bit closer to my intention or my initial intention, because it's, you know, not necessarily like far off from where I kind of heard it originally, but I do want to get back a little bit closer toward the more vulnerable approach. Personally, I would have taken this in a different direction. I mean, I'm about, you know, fresh, and now I would have made 808s crazy. I would have had thumping, you know, everything going. You know what I'm saying? The bass line would have been like Dive from Usher. Like it would have been soulful. It would have been warm, and it would have been current and fresh. I mean, he's a good friend of mine. I love him to death. We go way back, high school. Everything is great, but he has definitely a candid mentality. Sometimes he speaks his mind, sometimes, you know, and you get different people like that. I know how to deal with that kind of stuff. However, when I'm in my element and when I'm flowing and when I'm in my haven of what I do,
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't got time for that.
I'm happy to try to compromise,
Right.
meet you halfway, and you give a little bit of what you feel, and then we can give input and kind of creatively like address it. But the direction is going in right now. I'm not feeling that.
Allow me, just like they said, listen, I want to see the creativity. We want to go this one direction. We want to see how this thing goes. I mean, they didn't even give me a chance. I'm talking to Dennis, and he's basically, saying like, yo, dang, yo, fam, we want to go in this direction. What you're doing isn't exactly what we're looking to do. You're trying to change the whole concept, basically, and things like that. I mean, I was a little offended because it's like, yo, give me a chance to show you guys exactly what it is that I can do for the track.
I need a love resuscitation, love CPR. So can you get
But I believe in the record. I think it's got potential. So we're not gonna give up. Like we're gonna perform a love resuscitation on this song and bring it back to life.